Hello, this is Rico Cavella. Welcome to this episode of Fearless Aging, where in every episode, my guests and we strive to offer you proven tips and strategies that you can implement immediately to greatly improve your overall health and well-being. So we're here to inspire you and empower you to become your best self so you can go out and make a bigger positive difference in the world. So thank you very much for being here. Now, before I introduce the title of our episode and our expert guest, I just want to let you know that if you've been wondering how well you are aging, well, I have your solution. Go to my main website, ageleslivinglifestyle.com, and take our free aging assessment. And if you don't like your results, you can book a free call with me, and we'll discuss whatever health, fitness, nutritional, uh, uh, premature aging challenges you may be having, and I'll give you some quick and easy solutions that'll get you going on the right track. All right, so actually the title of today's episode is the Vitality Virtual Wellness Hub, which is something I just recently discovered, and it's just pretty amazing. It offers so many different things. So you're going to really learn a lot about wellness today, and there's a lot of resources for you. So our guest is Julz Vitality. She's the CEO of vitalityvirtual.org, and she's a wellness advocate and a business coach. So Julz Vitality, thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you, Rico, for introducing me, and welcome our guests to the episode.
Yeah, so this is going to be a fun time because, vitality is what I'm all into as well, and my
Right.
my online coaching programs are called Vitality for Life. So how about we start with, give us your definition of vitality.
Wow, that's a good one. That's a good one. I think I would definitely associate it with optimal performance, and that would be in all areas of life. So, some people may say that they have a perfect weight, but maybe they're miserable in their relationships. Some people may say they have a perfect marriage, but then they are either overweight or broke. So, I think it has something to do with having balance in all areas of life, not necessarily being successful in one area and then suffering in some other areas. I know a lot of business people who make a lot of money, but they are burnt out and stressed and depressed, right? So vitality is really an overcompassing state of well-being that is maintainable, that lasts, and that if we just slide off that optimal state, we do have the tools and resources to get ourselves back up there.
That's really good. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I would just say, I would just add, yeah, I think vitality is a state of mind, body, and spiritual wellness. So you're well, and you have the energy and the purpose to be highly perform in all areas of your life. Yeah, that's what we're all about. So that's so good to hear. Yeah. So tell us, how did you get started in this? How did you become the wellness advocate that you are, and how did you decide to put together this virtual wellness hub?
Yeah, great question. I think a lot of our businesses are born from our own story or maybe even our challenges and something that we had to overcome. A lot of us business owners come from some sort of a corporate journey,
Hmm.
right? And at some point we wake up wanting to escape
Yeah.
the matrix. So I'll skip the long story and I'll just focus on the pivotal moment where I was after going through my second divorce and experiencing depression due to some violent events and trauma. And I was literally sick of being sick. Like nothing was helping. Therapy wasn't helping. Doing whatever advice people were giving me wasn't helping. And I literally started to beg whoever, whatever can listen, God, universe, to help me find ways to climb out of a state of dragging my heels through life. Like I would wake up hating that there's another day in front of me and go to bed the same way, tired, and always wanting to just sleep and just shut away from the world. And resources and help started coming from places where I never would have looked on purpose. I was consuming some content, positive content. First of all, I removed negative content. Okay, so those it's actually one of the tips that I share in my gift to the audience is information diet. So I went on an information diet and I stopped listening or consuming any information that was making me feel more sad, depressed, or complain, right? And I started focusing on things that were making me feel good. I was getting a little bit more. I was literally hanging on little things that would make me feel 1 degree better, and then I try to do more of those. So learning how to, first of all, listen to yourself and be conscious enough of the feedback you're getting, right? And then learning additional tools. In that midst of beginning to heal, I also started a business, and it actually started from a podcast. And I put a call to speakers out there, and I did not specify who needs to come to this show. The only thing that was clear was the name of the show was Positive Impact.
Mm.
Life coaches, healers, wellness professionals were coming to be interviewed, and each interview with them healed me. It was like my personalized life coaching session.
Yeah.
So little by little, I started climbing out of my gray state of being, of mind and existence, into being more inspired, more empowered, more motivated, having more energy, utilizing and implementing the tips that they were sharing. And I felt like I have to get these messages out. So that was, and still is, a fuel behind the work that I do for my business, is creating stages and visibility and exposure to brands that are into healing, vitality, wellness, mental health awareness, raising a level of consciousness, mindset, anything that help us to become a well-functioning human being, and kind of move up that degree of vitality that we were just talking about, right? Because absolute vitality is probably not a destination. Well, it is a destination that probably is never reachable. It's a journey, really, right? It's a journey of getting as close to it as we can possibly get.
Yeah.
So
I just
that's
want
the
to.
marriage of the two.
Yeah, I just want to add what you were saying is, so it's really about having a mindset shift, right? And I like what you said. The first, you got to start with, you got to get all the negativity and all the things that are really holding you back, and all these beliefs and thoughts and things you're having that are holding you back. As you mentioned, that's really the key, is to get rid of that negativity and start focusing on what you want in your life, not what you don't want, right?
Yeah, and as I was learning different tools, there are a few that I can highlight that are still with me, and I still my go-to tools. One is a reframing of a negativity into positivity. Is super simple. When something is happening or you're experiencing a negative emotion and you want to switch that into positive, sometimes it's so hard. It's like you don't see anything positive in the situation. But the way to reframe it is to say, instead, I prefer, and then say something that you would prefer instead. For example, there's traffic, right? You can say, instead, I prefer smooth road, green lights, and getting from A to B faster. And you just focus on that. And you'll see even how fast the traffic can clear. So it actually uses a lot of principles of law of attraction. And also, we all know whatever we focus on is, what send our energy to. That's what we seem to attract. So it's being conscious of what we're thinking, catching our negative thoughts, reframing them, replacing them, refocusing on something that gives us a good feeling thought, or a good feeling in general, and then going with that. And there are secrets like, a certain amount of seconds, just staying in a positive thought at a certain amount of seconds. Some say 16, some say 68, whatever.
Yeah.
Just as long as you can, okay? As long as you can linger in the positive thought, even if you have to repeat the same thing, right? The faster you can actually neutralize the neural connections in our brain, the highways of negative thinking that have been so ingrained. And it costs us so much work to break them and build new ones. So start building these habits and implementing these routines that help you become a positive thinker. Not stupid positive, but just focused on the positive, desired outcomes.
Yeah, that's really well said. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that. Uh, so, on your website, you have the three main things that you offer, that you're teaching is mindset, which we've been talking about, and then healing, and then vitality. But before we go on to, tell us a little bit. I know you have some gifts for our audience. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so one of the gifts that I'd like to leave with you guys are 3 simple habits to look, feel, and perform 10 years younger. So it goes right with what Rico's teaching. These are based on my personal experiences, and they're optimized to take the least amount of time to incorporate them into existing routines and create the biggest outcome with basically the least amount of effort. Okay, so basically something you can do in the morning, in the
perfect.
evening, and some things to keep in mind throughout the day to turn your days from maybe dreadful days to joyful days.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds so good. And we'll put those links and your website and all that, how people can contact you. We'll put that in the show description, so we'll have that. So thank you for that. So let's talk. We've been talking a little bit about mindset. So talk a little about healing.
Yeah, so healing is such an amazing aspect of life that some people just associate with physical well-being, but really it is a 360 sort of thing because, well, the statement that I usually use, I don't remember where I heard it, is hurt people, and healed people heal people. So it is our responsibility, first of all, to start with our own healing, to detect the traumas, detect our triggers, look for sources of healing for people who can help us, and also do the inner work. We can do it on our own, we can do it with books, we can do it with coaches, we can do it by taking courses, we can do it by journaling, so many different tools. But once we heal ourselves, people around us, just by proximity, will actually get healing just from us.
Yeah.
And the people that are in proximity to them will also have a degree of healing. For example, a husband who always freaks out at his kids, or a father who freaks out at his kids when they make a mess, right? It obviously doesn't come from the kids. It's normal for kids to make a mess. It comes from his programming, conditioning, maybe his childhood wounds. So once he heals that, and once he becomes a kinder, more understanding and empathetic father, those children will grow up to be a more functioning, empathetic, kind human being. So you can see even multi-generational effect of healing if we take the accountability and responsibility. So by producing this chain effect of healing, starting with ourselves, we're really making the world a better place. It's not about protesting, let's stop war, let's stop war. It's literally something we can do ourselves. We can take the responsibility to make the world a better place by starting with ourselves. That's why I'm
Yeah.
so passionate about it, and it's not rocket science. It's literally just raising the hand saying, yes, I do need healing, help me. You'll see how many people are going to come and offer you their help.
Yeah. That's again. You expressed that so well. Yeah. Thank you for that. I just want to add. All the things that we have that happen to us. I firmly believe. I think you'll agree with this. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, and everything actually is just a lesson. And so, whatever we're still thinking that, well, poor me, why did this happen to me? You got to let that go and realize and see the lesson in that, and realize that it happened. So there's a great saying that I love is, life is not happening to you; it's happening for you. And I think that's where healing begins, when you really understand that life is happening for you, but you have to be awake and aware, and see what the lesson is, and see the value in everything that happens to you.
Yeah, and it goes really close with the concept of resilience, right?
Hmm.
So one thing is to reflect back in hindsight and go, okay, well, yeah, at the moment the divorce really sucked, but it actually made me free, made me, find myself, and afford me opportunities to travel the world. But in the moment, it really sucked, right? So how do we find the strength and resilience in the next during the next challenge or setback, or sometimes a blow life can throw at us, right? How do we find that strength to go, yeah, this is happening for me? It's really, really hard, right? So what I suggest people do, and this is a lifelong journey, is to create a toolkit, whatever way you want. Okay, some sort of resources, maybe a note on your phone, or a spreadsheet on your computer, where you literally keep track of things that you know will help you when you get to a point of pain, discouragement, sadness, whatever you're prone to. Maybe you're prone to depression. So if you hear a happy song and it makes you literally snap out of your sad mood, make a note of that song, save it into your playlist, so that when the moment comes when you are sad, you know where to go, and where to pull up. Or maybe it's images that make you feel happy, or maybe it's journaling. Whatever tools you're learning when you're feeling okay or between the blows, make note of them and remember them, because when the time hits, and people, like, which people will lift you up, right? Maybe giving a call to a person who's just going to be a good listener, or help you in, by giving a suggestion. Remember these things, before the next blow. The life will send you a blow. Be prepared for that, right? It's just like, why do we live in a house protected with the walls? It's just because we don't want to be exposed to the elements, right? So the same way we create this bubble, and when I talk about this bubble, imagine the slime kids play with. So if you can create a bubble around yourself made of slime, then these blows can bend it, but the tools and resources you have, the resilience you have, will help that slime to bounce back and retain your you undamaged, right? So that's what resilience is. It's not creating a stiff box, right? It's being flexible when the life throws a challenge at you, and using the tools that are appropriate.
That's so good. I just want to add to that is you have to know that you have the power within inside you to be resilient and to handle whatever comes your way. You can do it. So that's an important message that we want to get out to you. There's many ways to help you, and coaches can help you, but you have the power to do it. So that's what you need to be aware of, that no matter what's coming your way, you can go with it, you can learn from it, and you can elevate your life going through it. So that's a message that we want to give. So Julz, we're going to take a short 60-second break. I have a quick little message. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about vitality, and then we'll talk about some more things, what all people can find, all the things that you offer, amazing amount of things that you offer on your website.
Wonderful.
All right. Here we go. A little delay there. Come on.
Now, in just 17 minutes, you can get and stay fit and look and feel your best for life. This will be a life-changing and life-saving experience for you. Yes, it's true. Scientific studies have shown the Fast Fit 17 system is the fastest way to achieve maximum results in the shortest amount of time. This is a true fitness breakthrough. This system was developed particularly for busy people over 40 who know they need and want to get into better shape and have more energy, but feel they don't have the time. Now, time is no longer an issue. We want everyone to take advantage of this fitness breakthrough. So, for a limited time, you can get the entire program for only $17. So don't miss out. Order now at fastfit17.com.
All right, we are back with Julz Vitality. She's the CEO of Vitality Virtual, the Vitality Virtual Wellness Hub, and so we're going to talk about that, all the great information you can get there. But let's finish up. Let's talk a little bit. We talked about what vitality is. How about talk a little about what you think are maybe 3 or 4 of the main components that you need to master in order to live a vital and have lots of vitality.
Yeah, so let me start with a symptom. I think energy is definitely our measurement of the level of vitality. So if we have low energy, that means that there's probably things that we can work on. There's more potential to grow that level of energy, right? If we have an optimal amount of energy, then the next one that I would look at is probably our productivity. Okay? So if we are achieving what we plan to achieve throughout the day and we're on the ball, we're moving through life feeling accomplished, then that is also a good symptom. Now, when we're lacking those things, obviously there are things that are interfering with that optimal level of vitality, and you name them, right? It's our spiritual health, our physical well-being, hormonal, emotional, and if those of us who are entrepreneurs, also the health of our business, right? And relationships, of course, because we're not, a tree on an island. We are social human beings. So if we are not feeling as a part of community, if we don't have a support group or at least, a person or two in our life, then that could be an area to work on. So identifying where it is that we're lacking first, where it is that our scoring, maybe your test does that, where our scoring is low, those are the areas we would work on. So I would say from all of the ones that I mentioned, emotional would be the one that I'd start with, because even physical ailments often start as a symptom of our neglected emotional health, and that again is linked to our mental health, well-being, and subconscious programming. So I would probably go deep into healing trauma, and then once you heal the roots, right? The fruits of the tree will demonstrate the change. Even 1 degree healing in the root will produce maybe 50 or 60% difference in results in the fruits that tree produces. So that would be
I like how you describe all those things. That's really good. Yeah, again, I would just add, it's well known now that uh, whatever manifests in the physical body begins in our mental emotional state. So it's really about stress, and stress, as we know, just a perception. So you got to get a handle on what you're thinking and what you're believing and what your thoughts are, because that's what, as you mentioned, that's what creates your emotions, and that's what is creating your life. So that really is the key, is to get a handle on your mental emotional state, and then everything else can flourish from there.
Yeah, and even if I could give like a tiny little tip where people can get started, and even the ones that are on the journey to improve, is to become conscious of our own thoughts and feelings. When we're triggered, when something creates an emotion in us that shakes us up, recognize it, catch it. Okay, that triggered me. Just being awareness is always the first step. So raising that awareness of your own thought patterns and or your own emotions will definitely get you on a good path.
Yeah, really good. Well, tell us a little bit more about all the things that, I was just on your website, and it's pretty amazing. You have a magazine, you got podcasts, you got summits, you got coaching, got some classes.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about all the things that people can find and can
Yeah.
benefit from.
Just like many of us entrepreneurs, I am multi-passionate. So we'll just generalize it into two different groups. So positive impact brand is all about visibility, stages, and all these platforms that reach audiences that are looking for healing and self-revenge. And the vitalityvirtual.org is our nonprofit wing where healers and wellness practitioners come on live and teach, demonstrate the healing that they can cause and the transformation that they can offer their clients. And that is our nonprofit initiative. We want to spread it all over the world, especially to underserved population, through nonprofits like All Anon and grief support groups, divorce support groups, where people already raise their hands saying, I need help. Right. So it's a little bit different from a traditional coaching platform where people sort of look for a coach to deal with a specific issue. This is more about creating an impact, a big message, and at the same time allowing people to come and taste and sample how these practitioners create that transformation in real life and ask questions and interact with them versus just taking some recorded courses or webinar. These are live events, and it's kind of like in the gym, a fitness schedule of classes. We have like a wellness schedule of virtual classes for those who are interested in healing and improving their mental health.
Wow, that sounds really good. And talk a little bit about your podcast, and you have some summits and all those things. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so same idea. The goal is to basically educate our audiences. We have over 250,000 in our combined audiences. Educate them on the tools available, on the practitioners who are available to help them, on different resources that exist, motivate them, inspire them. I run bi-monthly events. Generally you can say summits, but it's basically an expert panel or a showcase where again. The attendees or participants get to actually witness what are some of the gifts and talents of these practitioners versus just being talked at. So I totally recommend that everybody checks it out. And if you are in a wellness and healing space, or if you're looking to get better or increase your level of vitality, come on. Those are completely free, and we run them every couple of months. Would love to have you on and find out how you can change the world with us.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being on a lot of your things. Well, we only have about a minute left, so I always like to end my shows with Einstein saying that knowledge without action is useless. So give us a little tip. What you think that you can inspire people? You give us a lot of good information already and a lot of help. But say something that inspire people to actually take action on what they've learned and what they will learn on your website.
Yes, I would say 1 degree improvement will make it more than 100% in 100 days, right? So just like that, in 1 week, one little action every day will get you to a different destination. You won't recognize your own wellness if you actually commit to doing one little thing towards your own vitality every day.
Yeah, that was so good. Well, Julz, thank you so much for being here. That was really good, really informative. I really enjoyed it, and we definitely encourage you to go to her website, and we'll put all that information in the show. So if you like today's episode, tell your friends about the Fearless Aging Show, and thank you very much for being here. And again, you can do it, so go out and make it happen.